Hello there everybody, this is Grant, my son is the Collector Summer 12 and welcome to a different sort of video for me. I don't usually do computer game based videos, don't worry about the screen in the background there, it's changing at the moment. Yeah, I don't usually do videos like this. This is a computer game sort of retro sort of video for me. I don't have the technology that everybody else does, like the capture things, so I've just got my little camera aimed at the telly because that is my usual professional style. Anyway, so a long time ago I did do a video, like a video review of my Super Nintendo Mini that I bought. Oh my god, when was this? That was before Christmas, and then I was just I played it a few times, it was alright, but I just didn't think the 21 games on it was enough, to be honest, especially to justify the price. Yeah, and I played it a few times, and then for Christmas my wife got me the PS4. What's it, the online pass. I've been playing that quite a lot. And then I think my son was watching a bit of YouTube, and then I idly saw someone done a video how to hack into the Super Nintendo Mini and put your own games on there, which is really cool. And I was waiting for that because I was hoping that someone would. And if you've been wondering why some of my videos, probably about the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've been a bit sparse, like maybe one a week, maybe, you know, something like that. It's because every night I've been trying to bloody hack into it and put my own games on it. I mean, it's dead simple to do, but it's time. It takes you time, you know, well, not time to hack into it, but time to amass all the games that you want. Suddenly you'll find another game. You think, oh yeah, I used to play that one. And then you try and find it, and then it's just time consuming, you know, to get all the games. So anyway, so it's fairly easy to hack into it. All you got to do, there's plenty of tutorials out there. One of the best ones I found, actually I learned how to do it, was from a guy called Gavin Horrocks. He does a good one, there's a couple of his. Watch the later ones, not the early ones, because there's been a few different versions of the software, which I'm going to say in a minute. You've got Pattern Plays. He goes through what sort of games will run on the Super Nintendo Mini and using what emulators, especially, and what emulators you need to use. And then you've got probably the best one if you're, though, this guy, well, because this guy actually makes a lot of, or adds to a lot of the actual emulator cores as well, which is KMFD Manic. And he is a really good guy because you can ask him questions on his videos, on his channel, and he does get back to you with help and everything like that. He's a really good guy. He's helped me out a few times. And there's still some stuff I'm not totally sure on because I'm not brilliant with computers. So anyway, so check them channels out. If I remember to, I'll try and put links if you're interested. So anyway, so this is my stock, whatever it is, Super Nintendo Mini. I've already hacked into it. All you do is you go on, if you go on to probably, where did I get it from? It was from Gavin Horrocks videos. They usually put the links to, is it GitHub, where you can get the Hatchy 2 software. It's all free. I'll tell you what, the only things I actually bought was a USB memory card and 2 on-the-go adapters. Really, that's all you need to pay for. All the stuff online is free. Yeah, brilliant. Right, so anyway, yeah, so you just download Hatchy 2, install that, run it. I mean, providing you're not like me and you haven't got a clue what a 7-zip folder is, you need to download that software to open those and other stuff like that. But, you know, once you find all that, that's just so easy. So when you've got it running, you basically just plug your Super Nintendo in using the FEL mode, or FEM, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, so all you do on that is you would just have it plugged into the power source on your computer, use your USB lead, obviously, and you just hold reset, and you then turn it on holding the reset until it takes. And if it doesn't, you've got the drivers to install, and it should be no problem. I mean, my computer's like 6 or 7 years old and is on its way out. So, and it managed to do it. So, you know, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do it. So anyway, so you hack into it, you flash the custom kernel, which is like just a new memory to it. It gets rid of the old memory, downloads that for you, and you keep that safe, because if you ever want to revert it back to factory settings, that's what you need. It's actually really good. Yeah, so, and you put the new custom one on, and that allows you to put new emulators on it, and so on and so forth, and add more games. And that's what you need to do. And there's plenty of other stuff you can do. I'll show you that in a moment. Now, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can, what's the word I'm looking for? You can download all the games directly to the internal memory on this. The con of that is that it's only got a certain amount of memory space. I can't remember exactly what it is. So you can't I mean, like, if you was trying to download 2 PlayStation games onto this, you'd probably fit 1 PlayStation game on that would take up the whole memory. So you wouldn't even have no room for emulators or even the original games from the Super Nintendo. But to counter that, you need a USB on-the-go adapter, because Hatchy 2 does support USB hosting, and you need one of these. I bought this one. I can't remember where I got this from, somewhere off Amazon. It needs one with a switch, because apparently it doesn't work if you don't get one with a switch between charge and on the go. You can get this on Amazon. Now, I don't know if this was dodgy, but I had a few issues with this, so I got rid of that, and I got one off eBay. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. Oh, God. Shouldn't have left it over there. Sorry if this video does go on a bit. I bought this one. This is the one that Gavin Horrocks uses. I got this off Amazon, not Amazon, eBay, from China or wherever it is, and it cost me about £2. It took its while to bloody get here, but I've had more luck with that one. The other one that I showed you first seemed to, well, let me explain. With this one, downloading from the USB when you're playing games, I'll show you in a minute anyway, seemed pretty much the same as what you'd get with the normal Super Nintendo internal memory. This one seemed to take, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds longer, and caused me a few issues on some things. I don't know if it's just a dodgy connection in it or something, I don't know. But using that one, I actually found it was all right. So anyway, so once you've downloaded all your games, and then you can watch some videos, and you find there's so much other stuff you can do. You can replace the original music that's on the menu screens, and which I've already done. You can have a new splash screen, because when you do the Hatchy for the first time, it has a little weird, boring Hatchy with a website address and stuff like that, and it's a bit dull. And you can replace that, which I have done, which I'll show you in a minute. Right, and and then you can just have fun with it, really. I did have a major issue when I was trying to do the USB. You've got to be careful how you do it. You've got to be careful what you're installing, and try and watch a few videos before you install anything, because you need to make sure that you have the right stuff. Installing the wrong stuff in the wrong order sometimes can cause you issues, and installing too much in one go can cause issues. That's what happened to me. I tried downloading a splash screen, custom music, and tried a new thing where you can actually download all the emulators onto your memory card instead of the internal memory, which means you can still have quite a lot on your internal memory, and now everything else is stored on here, so you can have it's great. It's like a 2-in-1. So anyway, I was trying to do all that at once, and then I actually thought I messed up my Super Nintendo, because I took that out, put the Super Nintendo in, and it was just coming up with error after error, and so I had to reflash my original memory onto it and then begin all over again, and since then it's been fine. Yeah, so that is enough waffling. Sorry if it's taking so long, but that's what I do usually. Anyway, right, so let's spark it up. So we get our little power lead, should we plugged in. Now, providing this work, it was working last night, so I haven't played it since, it should be working. So I'll just plug in the normal power lead source in, and we're going to turn it on and see what happens. Here we go. And now this is my custom splash screen I put in, and this is the thing. Now, obviously I was testing out, making sure the Mega Drive games worked. But let's come out of this. And then this is just using the internal memory of the Super Nintendo. So I put extra games on. We've got Cannon Fodder, Chrono Trigger. I'm not big on adventure games or whatever the RPGs, but everyone keeps saying it's a good one. And actually, I've done this for my son for when he's older and he wants to play other games like this. I put those on here for him. But we've got loads. So I put extra ones like Mortal Kombat 2, Mega Man X 2 and 3, and Mega Man 7 because I like Mega Man. And we've got SimCity. Let's have a look. We've got some, Mario All Stars. I can't believe it didn't come in Mario All Stars because that was a classic. Super R-Type. I've also got another version of this. I'll show you in a second. So anyway, so I've got put Super Street Fighter 2 on here, Super Star Wars, Super Tennis. I love Super Tennis. That's pretty good. That's all right. Worms. You can't get the later versions of Worms, but Worms was a great game. I used to love playing Worms. I think it was probably on PlayStation. I think my mate used to have it. I like both of these games. I haven't tested they work actually. Some games you can't get to work. I can't get Street Fighter 2 Alpha to work. There was a few other ones. SimCity 2000 I couldn't get to work. Now let's have a look. Here we go. Now these are all the games that I've got on this system. I've got the Atari. That pretty much works spot on. I'll just show you quickly. So we go into our Atari folder. And then these are the games that I've put from the Atari at the moment. You can add more if you wanted to, but I've literally filled up almost all of the internal memory. You've got to leave a little bit of space because obviously when you save a game, like like when you come out of it and you've got your save state and you want to save it, this uses up the internal memory. So you've got to make sure you leave a little bit. Otherwise, what happens is you try and save it. If you don't have that, it will just crash straight away. So anyway, yes, you need to leave a little bit. So I can't really put anything else on the internal memory. We've got Asteroids, Berserk. I did play this with my wife the other day, Kombat. I haven't played this since I was a kid. And she wiped the floor with me. I'll just show you how it works. So, yeah, you just go into it. And there we are. There's Kombat. And you can push start. And you can do what you want. This is such an easy game, but which button fire? Oh, blue. Oh, there we go. Oh, let me take this one out and show you. Such a great game. And then it's got a soft reset now, so you don't have to reach around and push the reset button. You just push down and select, and it brings you out to the menu, which is so handy because now you don't have to move, which is good. And it goes, there's your save state, so you just go down. And you can save these. You can't save every game, but you can save pretty much all the console games. Main games you can't save. I haven't found a way to save them, and I'm not too sure about some of the other ones. Right, so anyway, so that's Atari. Now let's move on. Here we go, so we're coming back out. TurboGrafx 16 or the PC Engine, these work fine. Let's go into these ones. Afterburner was a bit of a crap game to be honest. Gallagher's not bad. Batman, I haven't played that one. I like Gradius. R-Type is great. If you ever played R-Type on the Master System, this is the same version, but just better graphics and better sound, and it moves faster and it's harder. It's great. Same with Salamander. If you played, is it Life Force or Life Force of Salamander on the NES, which is like Gradius 2 or something like that. It's exactly the same, but this has got better graphics, faster. That's good. Shinobi is almost exactly like the arcade game, but just minor differences. But they all work. I'll show you Salamander quickly. There we go, so this is made by Konami. Sorry if this video does run on a bit long, but I like things like this. So anyway, so there we go, so you push one player. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Only this one, you can't seem to choose your weapons. It's a bit strange. So I don't know if I've got a funny hacked version or not. You can, oh yeah, that's the other thing I'm going to start looking at. Oh, bugger. Let's get out of this one. Yeah, that's the other thing. I noticed that you can get patches for certain games. There's a lot for Super Mario World where people have made their own sort of versions of it up. Some of them look really good. So I'm going to look into doing that next. So anyway, so let's come out of this one. We are going to go into... so obviously these are the NES games that I've got. You can actually put the firmware for the original Nintendo Mini on this, and you can do the same with the Japanese ones and everything like that, so you can jump between firmwares. It would reload the bottom icons here. So if you put the American Super Nintendo firmware on here, it would come up with the American style at the bottom here, and so forth, which is kind of cool. But again, you've got to make sure, there are problems with that. You've really got to know what you're doing when you put them on there. You've got to make sure you put a return path, because otherwise you can get stuck in it, and the only way to get back from it, you've got to go plug your Super Nintendo back into the computer and redo a command path, or just delete it off. Otherwise you get stuck there, you can't ever come back. It's a bit strange, but it's easy enough to do if you know what you're doing. Again, Garen Horrocks did explain all that. I just haven't put that on there because I don't see the point. Anyway, right, so I'll put a Zoids game on here. This is a Japanese Zoids game. Let me play this just to show you this works. I actually put some of the Japanese Transformers games on here. Some of them work. One of them, you do have issues with a lot of things. I love that because that is just great. If you're into Zoids, this game never came out over any Western, but this is great. I love this game. Can we get past this? There we go, Zoids. Obviously this is based on the Japanese version, it's not like a European version. With red and blue Zoids, these were like some sort of Empire Zoid against Republic Zoids and things like that. It's a bit of a strange game. There we go, so you can be either If you can read Japanese, good luck to you. I can't, so you've got to guess what you're doing. I'm just guessing. There we go. Don't know what's happening here. So these are my Zoids. You can sort of like move a square at a time, I think. Depending. No, let's pause. Anyway, you get the idea. It's a bit weird when you can't read Japanese and what's going on. But you know, I've got loads of games. So there's the Japanese one, Mystery of Convoy. That does work. This one, the Headmasters. I guess because it's the Japanese Super Famicom disk drive. I get so far, it wants you to enter your name, and I can't get past that screen. I mean, if someone out there knows how to do it, I can't get past it. Got Tetris, you know, Turtles. My Life, oh no, hang on, which one was it? M from Transformers and Video Games. I think he was talking about that when he used to play that one as a kid, so I downloaded it, so I thought, why not? And I used to love Super Mario Bros. 3, hated Super Mario Bros. 2, I did complete it, but I hated it. Can't go wrong with the first one. Never played these ones, but I did play that. Oh, I got stuck on that. Robocop, these are terrible games if I'm honest. Can't remember if I ever played that when it first came out. There we go with Probotector and Probotector 2, also known as Contra and Contra 2. Got Mega Man, the full set there, 1, 2, 3, up to number 6. I've only ever played up to number 4. Don't believe I had Mega Man 5. Definitely never had Mega Man 6. So I've got to redo that artwork actually. Yeah, but when you're on Hatchy 2 and you're downloading your games, you put your games across into Hatchy. It gives the option of choosing artwork for the games. You just Googles it, find your best one that you like. And it's so easy. Or if you've got one of your own, you can use that. So there's that Salamander game that I told you about before, and so forth. And then had that when I was little, not little, when I was about 15. Really wanted it because I thought it was a bit like Tron. Oh, it was awful game, hated it. Everyone seems to like it, but not me. But I downloaded it just for old time's sake. So I've got Greatest 2, I think that's the Japanese one, different one. Elite, I used to love Elite on a Commodore 64, my brother used to play that. Couldn't get into it, I was too young, couldn't really bother. Cybernoid is so fucking annoying. What else have we got here? Oh, there we go. Anyway, let's move on. Any games that I've got, apart from a few that I've put on the USB. I'll do the USB in a minute, because I forgot about that. Anyway, right, so you get the idea. We got some Mega Drive games, Master System, Nintendo. And I'll just show you quickly. Commodore 64 is a pain in the arse. I've only got, out of all the games here, I'll show you what I've got. Bounty Bob, you've really got to know how the emulator works, for one. I haven't tried that one yet. Haven't tried that. The only one I got to work was Paradroid, which I really loved. Snare, I remember my brother had. Space Crusade, I haven't tried. This one works. Oh, hang on, where's it gone? Theatre Europe is one of my favourite ever games on the Commodore. I can get up to a certain point. It comes with its own keyboard, like the emulator does. But I can't get it to work properly with it. It's a bit strange. Uridium, I haven't tried. Zoids, I couldn't get to work. It gets to a point and just freezes. I think this one's a bit of a dodgier version. And it can crash your system, which isn't good. So let's come out of that. So I'd probably have to buy the Commodore 64 Mini. Or I might try it. It worked pretty well on my homebrewed Wii, actually. So anyway, so there we go. So let's try the MAME just quickly. And so these are some of the main games I've got. You have to be careful with some of these because the files are really large. It can really take up a lot of memory. I haven't got it here no more, but I had Mortal Kombat 2, the arcade game on here, which it will run absolutely no problem. Let me just show you Robocop. I love Robocop. This is one of my favourite old-time games. And all you do now, to put a coin in, you just push select like that. It gives you the credits, then you just push start. It's such a great game, I loved it. There we go, there we go. Oh, you got to remember your buttons as well. Always do that. I just love the sampled speech in this. Oh, it's brilliant, I love it. This just brings back so many memories. Oh, Jesus. I used to play this in 19... Oh my god. As you can see, I'm total rubbish on this. So anyway, so it does come up with your save state, but it's pointless. If you save it and you go back into it, it just starts the game again. I have no idea why. It's a shame, really. Anyway, so then you come back out, and I'll just show you some of the Super Nintendo games I've put on here. I've probably put more Super Nintendo than anything, because obviously that's what I played when I was little. I always wanted this game, never played it. Alien 3 never played. Arkanoid is bloody weird. Axlay is great. Batman Returns is great. Biometal I haven't played. Darius Twin was actually a bit crap. That's a bit crap. FIFA 98. That is probably shit. I just watched a video on that, so that's probably crap. Yep, anyway, so I keep meaning to download another one. Maybe it's somewhere else. Final Fight, Firepower, Judge Dredd ain't too bad. Mech Warrior, R-Type 3 is pretty good. Robocop 3 is one of the most hated games in the world. Hated Robocop 3. I might delete that if I ever get a chance to go back on that. Robocop vs. the Terminator, I think the Mega Drive version is actually better than this one. So that is one that I'm going to be looking out for actually. So go on, and then you've got Super Aleste. There was a game I was going to say, you got Super Probotector. Oh, there we go. Like, so you got R-Type here, and this is the Japanese version that I put on here. As you can see, it's got a slightly different start. But I wanted this because when I used to watch the old, what is it? Read the old computer game magazines. All the screenshots I used to get, obviously the import games and everything to review before they came out. This one had different graphics. Level easy. It's fucking one of the hardest games in the world, this game. Hated it. Because it had no restart point. It had starts and starts. So anyway, so you carry on. Let's just see if I can get you to a point. I'll show you. I love the soundtrack. And you got your power. Let's get some speed. So anyway, so now you can see in the background, you can see that green little dots just coming into view there. So as we go on, I think oh, there we go. I've got Wi-Fi. Let's go. So now you're going to come on. You can see in the background it's getting a bit more. Now you can see in the background here, just where my ship is, this bit here, is full of asteroids, which are just background. For the American release and the European release, they took those out. I have no idea why. Because I'll tell you something, this game slows down as some of the worst slowdown on the system. So it can't be anything of that. Unless I thought it was just too confusing, I don't know. Like with all these in the background and all the enemies, I don't know. But I prefer it with it. Anyway, so that's that. Right, so let's plug in the USB. Let's turn it off. As you can see, you get your little shutting down message. Now then all we do is we take our little USB. Oh, there we go, a little 32 gig. With 32 gig, you should have enough, unless you're putting masses and masses like of Sega CD or any CD-based game, basically, which takes up huge amounts. Anyway, so this just goes up in here. Like so, yeah, so, you know, the storage on this, I mean, I put all of those games that you saw, plus a few extras on this, and I'm only taking up like 2 gigs worth of memory so far, and a few PlayStation games. So I've got about another 20 gigs worth of memory to play about with if I wanted to. So anyway, so now we've got that. As you can see now, all you do now is you're going to take your power supply and stick it in the back of this one. That goes in there, and then you've just got to be careful how you plug it in. Make sure, if you're going to buy one of these, you come with left and right. Make sure you look at the picture, because you want it this way. Anyway, right, so then I'm just going to be careful how to plug that in, because the connection can be a bit dodgy, and it goes in so easy. Not to move it. Right, so I'm going to turn it on, and now see what happens. There we go, comes up my special screen again.
In darkness, a destination, the Games Academy somewhere out at sea. Their mission to become games playing legends and to crack the challenge of Games Master.
As you can tell, I put my own custom music on there. I spent a couple of nights getting loads of things from Games Master. If you're in the UK, you've probably heard of Games Master. If you're outside the UK, you probably haven't heard of it. It was a great show back in the night. I think it ran from 92 to like 98. And it was such a great show. I mean, it started off all seriousness, of being a proper computer game sort of like entertainment show. But by the end, like got to about 5 or 6 series in, it was a bit of a piss take. It was just great. It was just see who they could get on it. Usually, I don't know, some sort of like fit girl from like, I don't know, Neighbours or something like that. And they'd put them on arcade machines where they've got to jump up and down just so you can see their boobs wobble about and that. So funny. But that's what it turned into. But it still was such a great programme. I was so gutted when it ended. So what I did was I just got some clips, extracted the audio files, make sure they're in a wave, and then if you put the advanced music hack on, you've got to make sure you watch a tutorial how to do it. It's so easy. Unless you're me, which I completely messed it up. Anyway, so then I put those on it. And then what you do is once in there, the hack just plays a random one. So every time you boot it up, so if I turn it off now, it should play a different one. So just give it a second or two. There we go, we'll turn it back on. Let's see what one we get this time. I'm not sure which one this was from. I think this could be Series 2. The other one was Series 3. There's some great ones. Series 4's got a good one. Yeah, I think this one's Series 2. Anyway, so as you can see on here, I've got some Game Boy Advance games. My son sort of likes Pokemon, so I put a few of those on. So we're going to come out of this now. As you can see, it does work pretty quick coming out of each one. With that other on-the-go adapter, it would take like about 4 or 5 seconds, which is really annoying. So obviously, as you can see, I've got most of the same games copied, but I do have an extra one on here. I don't know if I put it here or it's in the Super Nintendo folder. As you can see, this one is still on the wraps because it's using the USB memory, not the internal memory. So again, any saves you make on this will be saved to the USB stick rather than the internal memory. So if you're going to do that, like me, where you've got both games on each, and you're playing it, when you want to play it again, make sure you put in the right one. So anyway, so we got the same games. What game was I looking for? Can't remember now. Oh, that was it. Rise of the Robots. It must be somewhere in one of those other folders. So anyway, so now we got on here. We've got 32X on here. These work pretty good. I've got Commodore 6 Game Boy Advance. And now on my main, I've actually got more games on here than you can see. I've got Aliens. I've got these ones. See, I'm trying to find a disc of Tron that bloody works. I've got this one. We've got some of these don't work. I've got this one. No, that wasn't working. Where's my one that was working? Got Shinobi. This works. Strider works. That works. Oh, Mortal Kombat 3 works. Don't know if that works yet. Afterburner I can't get to work. Aliens works. I didn't delete it off, have I? Main disc of Tron. Main Tron. Right, so this is the one that works. I don't think that one works. This one definitely works. I've been wanting to play this. I haven't played this since I was a little kid. And I finally got it to work last night. I was so over the moon. I got bloody beat on it straight away. So anyway, so you've got Mortal Kombat 2. Let's spark this up. I'm so pleased this actually works on the Super Nintendo Mini. How cool is this? Here we go. So you just don't worry about that. It's always the start screen. Here we go. Now the music on this is a bit low, but you can, if you push start and select, you can bring up the retro arch menu, and you can go to, I can't remember which one it is, might be options. You can go to sound. No, it's not here. I can't remember where it is. But you can go, oh, bloody hell, I don't want to do that. Let's come back. Motor controls, it's somewhere here. Can't remember where it is. Anyway, not too bothered about it. Let's put in our credits. Here we go. See, put in enough credits and you press start. Let's put in Johnny Cage. He's the only one that I can remember to do his fatality. Just to show you, this does absolutely, it plays absolutely fine. Oh, you little shit. As you can tell, it works fine because it's absolutely rubbish on this against a computer. But I said, love Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo. Well, Mortal Kombat 2 anyway. Oh, you little. Have some of that. Oh, you. Yeah. Go on. Well, anybody of a nervous disposition, you might not want to watch the next bit, though it's so what's the low punch? That one. Oh dear, that is such a classic death move. Oh, I thought I'd do the easiest one there. Anyway, right, so the only other issue you might have when you start playing a lot of games, like your main games, maybe your PlayStation ones, is you might want to turn off your system after each game, because I think, is it the cache can get overloaded with memory or something like that. So you need to turn it off to get rid of it, because otherwise it just comes up with an error that it'll just shut down anyway. We won't do any machining harm, it just means the cache is full. But it's only happened once, so, you know, right, let's try and see if we can get these working. If it don't work, it just reaches straight back to here. So let's go. No, it's still not working. Still not working. Oh, is it working? I don't know. No, it's still not bloody working on that one. Right, this one. No, thought about it. This one does work though. I don't know, where is it? What about... Oh, bloody hell, what about this one? I don't think this is going to work. No. Still haven't got golden axe to work either. I thought this would work. Right, this one should work. It worked last night. There we go. This is a classic. This is classic. I haven't played this since my mum and dad took me to Margate when I was a kid. What, about 13? I saw this in the arcade. I couldn't believe it because I've never seen a Tron arcade game before. I was 13. So I was over the moon. I played it and I haven't played it since then. Just love the music. Straight out of the film. I love it. So then you choose your area. Oh, this is the light cycles. And this is probably one of the best versions of light cycles I've ever played. Here we go. Here we go. And you can speed up. Take this sucker down. Oh, I got him. Look at that. Straight away. Let's do this one. Here we go. Now this is hard. You've got to use the L and R buttons at the top to control your arms. Oh, there we go. It's hard, which is fine. Replicate. Oh, come on. In, mate. Come on. There he goes. We found the upload tower, the I/O tower, the input-output tower. Great film, Tron. I love Tron. Oh, this is hard. This is like the tanks. This is well hard, this one. So I haven't done this one. This is like bloody... You can... Yet again. Oh, one hit kills me from him. I've got him about 4 times. It's not one. First time I've ever done that. Here we go. Right, here we go. Right, this reminds me of the Crystal Maze. I will get bloody... All right, it's this one. You've got to try and get in here. It's a bit like Super Breakout. Oh, it got me. Let's try that again. Come on. Got it. There we go. Done it. And then we got to move up to the next level. What's this one this time? Oh, it's that one again. Yeah, it doesn't always stay the same. It's a bit random, really. Oh, it got me. So obviously, this moves a bit faster this time. Let's try this one. Oh, the grid bugs is now. See, I have to play this just. How are you supposed to get past these? Look at that! Love it. Absolutely brilliant. Right, so that one works. I cannot get the others to bloody work. There we go. Anyway, right, Strider works. Pretty good. I've got that one to work first. Go. Let's try this one. This one completely messed up the system. It did the last time I tried it. No, it's still not working. Got that works. Let's show you Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 works. There we go. I don't know how you get the extra characters in this already, though. As you can see, I was a bit of a Mortal Kombat fan back in the day. Oh, obviously, I'm still not very good at this game. Oh, come in, let's idle. Go on, Reptile, mate. Oh, I still remember it when I need to. There we go. Just got to remember how to turn it now. There we go. Oh, do you know what? That's enough of that game. Anyway, if you're alright at it, you're alright. Shinobi works, sounds a bit off on that one though. Rastan is perfect. Mortal Kombat works, that's pretty good. Shame about bloody Tron. These work, these are great games. Anyway, right, so let's come out of this one. Hold on. It's been going on about now. Hold on, 36 minutes this video at the moment. Right, so one more thing, we're going to end it here. Because I don't know who's going to want to stick around for that long. I'll just show you that N64 really don't work. Some of them you can sort of get to run, but the system really can't handle it. So I'm looking forward to the N64 Mini comes out. Hopefully again someone will hack that and you can put other games back on it, exactly like we've done here. And because that's the N64, it also PlayStation's a bit better. I mean, it actually plays PlayStation games. Couldn't get this to work. I wanted Beast Watchers Transmetals to work, but it just won't have it. And Space Hulk I wanted to work, but it will play these two. Alright, I don't know about FIFA 99, I haven't tried it yet. Plays Doom okay. I'll show you Ridge Racer quickly, because I know this one works. Oh, it's not working today. What's that one? Oh. That's a bit of a strange one. Oh, okay. I've already done saying to the bloody folder that I put all the emulators in, so I have to be careful on that one. Okay, no problem. I'll see what I've done on that one. Anyway, so then you come out. And that's it, really. Not too bothered about the PlayStation because it really don't play on that well anyway. But I'll have a look and see what I can do later. See why that ain't working. But you've got Mega Drive. Let's just do one Mega Drive. We've got 2 minutes. Keep it at 40 minutes, so. We'll play Castlevania. And there we go. Never played this game on here. I can't seem to do my whip upwards, but obviously you can't, I assume. A bit strange, but there we go. But it's still pretty cool. Right, I'm going to leave this video here. So, yeah, I hope you liked it. It's a bit of a different one, just showing off some of the things you can put on here. Obviously, I've got to see why that PlayStation 1 wasn't working. I know it was working because it was one of the first things I put on here, so maybe something's affected it somehow, or maybe I've just bloody done something, who knows. Anyway, right, so this has been Graham, the Collect 75. I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.